In with the new, out with the old. Some major upsets in Vancouver Island municipalities with new mayors, while others, like Victoria, opt to stay with who they have.
CTV News with Christina Stevens.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. It is a brand new day with brand new mayors for a number of Vancouver Island communities. It was an election night full of drama, with upsets in some municipalities and voters opting to stay the course in others. Here in Victoria, residents have re-elected Mayor Lisa Helps, giving her a second mandate.
I am going to be your next mayor for the next 4 years.
Applause erupted at Helps headquarters several times as the evening progressed, and each time results were announced, her victory became increasingly certain. Chance of 4 more years could be heard as Helps won by 3,900 votes over her closest opponent, Stephen Hammond. Helps says this campaign was a referendum on the city and that the vote shows the future of Victoria is inclusive and sustainable.
Most of all, what this election means is that we have a shared and collective vision of the future.
Lisa Helps garnering a second term in impressive fashion. Like you said, we're here with Lisa right now. Lisa, I've been watching you all night, and earlier on, you looked a little worried. What was going through your head this evening?
I was a little bit worried because there was a lot of, negativity and fear and anger out there. But what has triumphed is hope and positivity and a sense of moving Victoria forward, and all the worry is gone. Now it's just hard work for another 4 years.
Anyone in public office will face criticism, and you have been no exception. You've taken criticism on the Elsner case. You've taken criticism on bike lanes and statues and plastic bags. What does today's win say, though? Some might think those criticisms mean people are not behind you. What does today say?
I think today says that what Victoria wants is a leader who has the courage to move the city forward. And some of those things like plastic bags and bike lanes, those are real leadership decisions. Those are hard decisions for us to make. And what we're seeing now is cities around the province and around the region following suit. We're the capital city. We have to have the courage to lead. And I think what the election results say today is Victoria wanted a leader that has the courage to keep the city moving forward, and looking forward to working with Victorians to do that.
Finally, you called today's vote a referendum on the city's future. What does that mean?
What that means is we really need to look not just 4 years out, but we need to look 20 to 30 years out. Every decision we make in the next 4 years needs to set us up for long-term affordability, long-term sustainability, and long-term prosperity, and that is my commitment and my platform, and I think that's what Victorians voted for today.
On a beautiful fall day, the forecast may have had change in it, but not today. It was all Helps.
Voter turnout for municipal elections is typically woefully low, but this year proved to be the exception in certain island municipalities, Victoria in particular, where nearly 44% of registered voters cast their ballots. The City of Victoria says it was the highest turnout in recent history, more than in each of the last 3 elections. That, of course, meant it was not without its problem. As we reported, at some locations, residents waited an hour to vote, and at others, some waited up to an hour and a half. The city says they used the same process as in the last election, with one tabulator at each voting location. And while they do acknowledge there were some waits, they say overall things went smoothly.